Hello, welcome to JoJo's Homemaker and Lifestyle. Well, as you can see, I'm better and wow, that was not nice. It's not nice being poorly, but I'm better now. And today I'm going to make with you some granola. I've never made it before and I really do like granola. But the thing is, when you buy it from the shop, it has other things added to it, things that you don't really want, and you make it yourself, you know what you're getting. And also, I thought I'd quite enjoy making it, so I thought I'd give it a go with you today. Also, I made some custard the other day for dessert after one of our meals, and it's a little bit on the runny side. So what I've done, it wasn't when I made it, but I added some more milk to it so it didn't go too thick, because when it cools down it really thickens, but it didn't. So I've just got these out of the freezer, chocolate chip brioche rolls, and I'm going to cut them in half. Rather than waste the custard, I thought I would make a bread and butter pudding with it. So I'm going to use the custard. I'll do that with you so you'll see what I'm going to do. But for now, we're going to make this granola. Now, as I say, I've never made it before. My sister, she makes it. She says it's quite time consuming. So we'll see, won't we? I don't know. I've never made it. I'm going to make it with coconut oil as well, if I've got some. So I'm just going to have a quick look, see if we've got some. Now, I was sure we'd got coconut oil and we haven't, but you can use olive oil. So that's what I'm going to do. I've measured the oil out. Now, it's 4 cups of porridge oats to half a cup of oil. So I've just got to measure the oats out now. I'm going to measure them out into this, and then pecans, I'm going to put half a cup of pecans in, half to 1 cup, I'm not sure, and then we can get cracking. I might slightly chop the pecans so that they're not whole, or at least halve them. I'll have a look. So now I'm going to add half a teaspoon of salt. Actually, I think it's 1 teaspoon. It is 1 teaspoon of salt. There we go. Half a teaspoon of cinnamon. A good half a teaspoon of that. I like cinnamon. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. What I forgot to do is put the oven on. So I'm going to just set the oven for a temperature of 180 Celsius. I've got some pecans there. I'm going to use 1.5 cups of them. It does say 1 to 1.5 cups, so let's just have a look. That's 1 cup. I think 1 cup might be enough. I'm going to just slightly chop them. I don't want them too big. I don't want them as whole pecans. So let's chop them in half. I do like pecans, especially in cereal. So that's that. So let me just put them in here. I'm going to give that a stir just to see what it looks like, and if I think I want any more pecans, I'll add those to it. Let's have a look. No, I think that's enough. And then I've got another cup there if I decide to make any more. So just going to get this oil and pour that in. And then the maple syrup. So there we go. And I'm using that maple syrup. There we go. Now give it a stir. You can add, once it's cooked and it's cooled slightly, you can add raisins to this, dried cranberries, chocolate chips, or even like shavings of dark chocolate is really nice. So what I do when it's done, I'm not sure. We'll see what it's like when it's done. That's plenty of nuts in there, because I do quite like just plain granola on its own. Or I also like, if I'm away in a hotel or something like that, if I have cereal quite often, I'll have a little bit of Alpen with a little bit of granola in it as well, and that adds a really nice crunch, and that is lovely with Alpen. But you can add it to other cereals, you can have it on its own, you know, with milk for cereal. I'm sure you can do other things with granola, I'm not sure, but I do like it on its own as it is. And if I just do it just with the nuts in, and myself or anybody else who's having some for breakfast decide they want something else with it, whether it be a little handful of raisins or something like that, then they can add that, or some chocolate chips even. So like I say, that's added afterwards. So rather than add it to it, I thought I'll just jar it as it is once it's done and cooled down, and then people can add what they want to it if they do want anything else to it. So that is all mixed nicely. Now all I've got to wait for is the oven to get up to temperature. Now I've prepared a tray ready. I'll get that now, and then this can just go on it. You press it down, not too firmly, but you want to press it down. It depends how you like it. If you like it clumpy like me, then you slightly press it down. And it has about 24 minutes in the oven, just until it's golden brown, but halfway through you give it a little stir. And again, if you like it clumpy, then you just press it down slightly. Once it's done and you've took it out of the oven, it will still be soft, but you press it down again after giving it another stir, and then you leave it to cool, and it will cool like in pieces, so you can break it up to what clumps you like it. Otherwise, if you just give it a stir, if you don't like it clumpy, then it will be not clumpy. It'll be how you like it. So everybody likes it differently. I personally like it slightly clumpy, so that's what I will do. So let me just get this tray. Let me just check that I've got everything in it that I need in it. I wrote it down because it was on my phone, but I vlog on my phone, so I can't vlog and look at the recipe, so I've had to write it down. So it's had 4 cups of oats, 1 cup of pecans. You could use other nuts if you wanted other nuts, but I've used pecans. A teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, half a cup of oil, half a cup of maple syrup or honey. You don't have to use maple syrup, you could use honey. I just really like maple syrup. And a teaspoon of vanilla. And then you just pop it in the oven on 180 for 21 to 24 minutes until it's golden brown. So let's put it in this tray and get it ready for the oven. It's not quite up to temperature yet, so it will be another 5 minutes. Okay. So that is all done, ready for the oven. I hope it is spread out enough. Like I say, I've not made it before, but it's quite a big tin, so I'm quite sure it's fine. I'm pleased I didn't double it because I was going to, so let me show you. There we go, look. And that just wants popping in the oven. Be a little bit like flapjack, I guess, but so anyway, that's going to go in the oven as soon as it's up to temperature. And it is up to temperature, so we can pop it in. And like I say, it just wants, well, I will probably give it 10 minutes to start with, and then I'm going to take it out, give it a little mix up, press it back down, and then pop it in for another 10 minutes or so. But take note what colour it is, because you don't want to overdo it, but you want to wait until it's just golden brown. And although it will still be soft when you take it out, as it cools it will crisp up, and then you break it up. Hey Google, set timer for 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes. That's it, all set, so just got to wait now. But for now, I'm going to do this bread and butter pudding that I said I was going to do. Because these have defrosted now. And I'm going to start by greasing the bowl. Right, so this is the custard. There's 1.5 cups of custard there. So what I'm going to do to help it bind together is I'm going to add 1 egg. Then I'm going to put it together then. So let me just get an egg. There we go. Get my little whisk and then just whisk that up into the custard. What I might do as well is add a little vanilla extract. There we go. Perfect. Here's the bread, and I'll use it all. And all I'm going to do is break it up, tear it, break it up and pop it in here like so. There's quite a lot here, but by the time the custard's on it and it's all soaked in, it will reduce in size anyway. Be a nice dessert, this will. And now we just need to pour this over the top. It's just a shame I could have just thickened the custard and used it for something else, but I just thought this would be really nice. There we go. Then I'm just going to leave that to soak, and then later on this afternoon, when I'm ready to put it in the oven, I shall press it all back down again. But for now, that can stay like that, and it will soak in the brioche as well. Be nice, that will. There. There's no need to waste anything. And these brioches need using up. They've been in the freezer a while as well, so perfect. There you go. So the timer's going off. It's been 10 minutes. I can take it out now and give it a little mix. Hey Google, stop. Right. So I'm just now, we're going to go just give this a little stir. Like this. And then once you've done that, you then just press it back down, pop it back in the oven. So feeling the texture of this, I can't see how it's going to stick together, but apparently it does. So there we go. I'm just going to press that down again. Another 10 minutes. I've just set it for 14 minutes because I think it's going to need a little bit longer than the 10 minutes. So we'll give it the 14 minutes and then we'll take another look at it. Hopefully it will be done. So I have used Scotch porridge oats. They are my favourite, just the original ones. And as I say, I really like those. So it's done. Just take it out. And that is lovely. Look at that. It's nice and golden. And that is done. So now I'm just going to press it down. If anything, it's had a little bit too long actually, but not because I've put it on for too long, but I didn't hear the timer, which is a bit of a shame. So let me just press this down with the spoon. Oh, what a shame. Never mind. It'll still be nice. So I'm giving it another little stir. And then I'm going to press it all back down again until it's cool. So that just wants pressing down quite firmly. And that, when it's cold, should stick together. And I just hope that when it comes to eating it, it doesn't taste burnt. But I will tell you, I will try it with you. But for now, we're just going to let it cool. So it's all done and it's all cooled down. So now I am going to put it in a little mason jar. Well, it's quite a big mason jar, but I'm going to put it in there anyway because it will keep nice and fresh. And it has cooled down enough. You do want it to be completely cold because it might go soft. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to pour it in and then I'm just going to leave it with the lid open until I know it's completely cold. But it hasn't clumped together like I wanted it to, but I have tried it and it is absolutely lovely. It's so tasty and it's not overdone. Any longer it would have been, but it's perfect. It really is nice. It's got a bit of a toasty taste to it, so it really is lovely. And not a burnt taste, may I add. It is a toasty taste and it is just perfect. It's lovely. I might just try spooning it in to start with and then we can pour it in after that. I'm just looking for a spoon big enough. It's in the dishwasher. So we'll use this one for now. So there you go. The rest I'll put in here. So obviously it's not breakfast time, but I will try it with you. I'm going to just have it in a little bowl because I don't want a lot. But I think we should try it. Let's try this cereal, shall we? Oh wow, that is really good, even as it is. That, I have to say, is amazing. Better than I've ever tried from the shop. You know, I bought one. First time I've ever made it. First time I've ever tried a homemade one. And I have to say, it really does not compare. And it really is cheap to make and really easy. I did use an organic maple syrup, which is quite significantly more expensive than just an ordinary maple syrup. But a good one, a proper, not maple syrup flavouring, you want maple syrup, or even honey for that matter. So you can do it an awful lot cheaper than what I did, because I did use that organic one. You can buy cheap porridge oats. You can just use a normal vegetable oil, really. You don't have to use even olive oil because it can be quite expensive. A normal vegetable oil is probably better for you anyway. But like I say, you can do it a lot cheaper than what even I've done it for. But I have to say, honestly, this is so nice. And that's it, look. I'll be making this again, without a doubt. I'm not sure how long it lasts, but this one is in an airtight container. That probably not so much, but I'll use that one first. Absolutely lovely. So give it a go. It really is that easy. You saw how easy it was. Brilliant. So homemade granola. And it's absolutely brilliant. I know I'll keep raving on about it, but it really is that good. So give it a go. Make it yourself. Let me know in the comments if you've made it before. Let me know in the comments if you do it differently to what I've done it, and what sort of things you add to it, or that you would add to it. Maybe you'd use different nuts or something. I mean, walnuts would be nice in it. I just like pecan nuts. They're my favourite nut in things like this anyway. So yeah, let me know if you've done it or if you're going to do it, or if you do it and how yours turned out. I'm hoping the next one is a little bit more clumpier, but I probably won't leave it in quite as long, although after saying that, there's nothing wrong with it. So I'm going to put that there with my cereals, and that will get eaten over the next few weeks. And I will make some more running up to Christmas, because we've got family staying at Christmas, and it'd be nice to have some in for them. So what I probably do though, I only use that maple syrup because that's all I'd got, but I probably will get a cheaper maple syrup that was just as nice, and make a bigger batch of it, and could do with some more mason jars because they would keep better in that. And like I say, dead easy, and I can do it really cheaply as well. So that's definitely what I am going to do. I bet this would be nice as well, sprinkled on the top of crumbles and things like that. But anyway, give it a go. And next, I am going to be doing this, and it's absorbed all the custard. It just really needs baking, but we're not having it until tonight, so I'm going to do that later on. That would be nice with a little bit of ice cream, but we haven't got any, so we'll be having it on its own, but I'm sure it will still be lovely. So I will show you that later on. So for now, I'm going to go. get a bit of tidying up done, and then do tea. We've got some chicken left over from the other day, so I've got a curry sauce. I was going to make a Thai curry, but you need coconut milk, and I haven't got any. Could nip to the shop, but don't really want to. I want to use things I've got in. I've got a pack of naan breads in the cupboard, and I've also got a tikka masala. So I think with the chicken that's left, we're just going to have a tikka masala with rice and naan bread. So that's our tea sorted, and then that bread and butter pudding. So yummy, looking forward to that. So there you go, that's it there. That's the pudding. I've just sprinkled a little bit of icing sugar on it. So there we go. And it looks really nice. So let's give it a little taste, shall we? It's hot. We'll just leave it a minute. Haven't a clue what it's going to be like, but it smells nice. It smells very chocolatey. That's nice. Bit like chocolate bread and butter pudding, really. Very nice. I'd highly recommend it. There you go. So that is or should I say, that is my custard bread and butter pudding. So again, give it a go. You just make some custard up, really runny custard, add an egg, tear some brioche in a bowl, pour the custard over and pop it in the oven. And it had 3/4 of an hour on 180, and I sprinkled a little bit of icing sugar on the top, and hey presto, there you go, lovely little dessert. So hope you really enjoyed that vlog. Thank you so much for joining me. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you all again next week. Thanks so much. Bye.